Do you feel that disruptive physician behavior is an issue in either the preclinical or clinical years of medical school?
Disruptive behavior is an issue throughout all of medical school, though I think there's different types that predominate at each stage. In the preclinical years, disruptive behavior from fellow peers is relatively common, but tutors and professors, they tend to be less disruptive. In the clinical years, I've noticed that disruptive behavior comes mostly from above. Senior medical students, residents, staff physicians, they're thrust into a really stressful environment, and sometimes they lose their cool.
Have you witnessed or heard of a supervisor or professor displaying unprofessional or disruptive behavior? Would you have any concerns with reporting disruptive behavior of a superior?
I think I've been lucky. My interactions with supervisors have been mostly respectful and productive, but I have heard of incidents of disruptive encounters between professors and peers. I often ask if they are considering reporting the incident or submitting a complaint, but students are often hesitant. They're afraid that they might burn a bridge or a contact will be lost for their future professional development.
What advice would you give a colleague who is on the receiving end of a disruptive behavior situation?
I think my best advice would be to be honest with yourself. Is the situation an impediment to your learning? Is it something that you'd rather see stopped so that others won't have to face a similar scenario? If so, I think it's your duty to intervene in some way. For most cases, whether it's another student, a resident, or staff, I think we should muster the courage to speak with them one-on-one and share with them how the behavior is getting in the way of our learning environment. Diplomacy and honesty are probably the key. In sticky situations where you're unsure or afraid of the consequences, tap into resources that can help you gain insight on how to best address the problem. Your Student Affairs Office, the PHP program through the OMA, your dean, they're all there to help you with these situations. I think we owe it to ourselves to foster a respectful and productive learning environment. Hey, we pay quite a bit of tuition, don't we? Why wouldn't we deserve it?
Have you witnessed or heard of a colleague or another student displaying unprofessional or disruptive behavior? If so, how was the situation handled?
I have a few examples of this exact scenario in the bank. The most striking that I can recall was where a student was disrespected by a peer by calling him derogatory names in jest. For others that witnessed this, it was hard to gauge whether the student on the receiving end was at all offended, since he let it go on for quite a while. Eventually, he approached his colleague and made it clear to him that his behavior was offensive, and that was that. Go figure.